Okay, start.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you all to join our today international seminar or live seminar. So, welcome to our second web seminar. I am Mohammad Farhan Firdaus, founder and chairman of Japan Bangladesh Robotics and Advanced Technology Research Center, JBRATRC, Japan. Today, we are starting our second international live webinar on machine learning and deep learning for intelligence system. And today, our honorable guest speaker is Dr. Bui Than Hang. He received his master's degree and PhD degree from Japan Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, Ishikawa, Japan, in 2010 and in 2013, respectively. And he is also currently the Director of Data Analysis and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, Director of Masters and Undergraduate Information System Program, Engineering Technology School, Tau Dau Mot University, Vietnam. He has completed his 2 projects and published 4 international journals, 6 international book chapters, and 16 international conference papers and 13 domestic conference papers. And he is working many type of research nowadays. And he had 2 Best Paper Award of FICTA 2018 and RISE International Conference 2020, and is selected as a excellent scientific researcher of Tau Dau Mot University in 2019 and also 2020. He is a receiver of many journals and conference, and he also review this type of journal and conference. And he is also a keynote speaker of many domestic conference as like Saigon University, Tau Dau Mot University, Industrial University of Ho Chi Minh City, Nguyen Tau Dau University, as well as Foreign Conference of North Orissa University, India, SIRT, India, also some international conferences, Indore Institute of Science and Technology, India, and VNS Group of Institute of India, also Manipal University, India. Now he have many type of research interest field, and his main research interest field is the natural language processing, machine learning, machine translation, artificial intelligence, data analysis, computer vision, deep learning, artificial intelligence. And now I am introducing about our organization, Japan Bangladesh Robotics and Advanced Technology Research Center, JBRATRC. Mainly our organization is a non-profit and non-government organization, and our organization is working different type of fields as like robotics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, big data, and there are some other type of activities nowadays. We are working with some researcher with writing some book chapter, also some book about this type of robotics and advanced technologies. And this organization also doing some research, innovation and develop project, and with the collaboration with different type of researchers, young professional, student, professors from all over the world. Also, we have organized some international conference in Bangladesh. Also, I'm doing some workshop seminar about the machine learning, IoT, robotics in the different type of school, college, universities in Bangladesh. Also, our team also joined some international conference in USA last year. I am also doing some presentation in different type of country, yes, like the Vietnam, Indonesia, India, and some other, Japan, this type of countries. And now, in today, we are in this webinar. First, the honorable guest speaker will present on machine learning and deep learning for intelligent system. After he will finish his presentation, we will select some question of the comment section. Then we will try to give the answer. So you can ask your question in the comment section on the Facebook live web seminar, and our page is the www.jbratrc, and also our Facebook page JBRATRC. You can see our live. And today I am inviting our honorable speaker, Mr. Dr. Bui Than, to present his research. Thank you all.
Thank you for your invitation. I'm very happy to share with you about. Okay. I'm very happy to hear to present with you our research, machine learning and deep learning for intelligent system. My name is Bùi Thanh Hong from Data Analytics and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, Engineering Technology School, to the Remote University. Here is my email address and my website. You can find all my information in my website. The content of my presentation, there are six parts. The first, I will talk about introduction. Next, we will define what is the intelligent system. After that, I will talk about the machine learning and deep learning, and some experiment from our research. And lastly, I will do conclusion. Now, let me begin with the part one, introduction. As you know, we are in the Industry 4. We just published Industry 1, 2, and 3. And in the Industry 4, there are many aspects. For example, Internet of Things, big data, cloud computing, and AI. AI is the main task in the Industry 4. For example, if we focus on smart factory, we see that there are a lot of a field related to artificial intelligence, for example, control system, sensor, adjustment, robot, HMI, and others. Or in the smart city component, we see that there are many research, many field related to artificial intelligence is a smart manufacturing, smart government, smart digital, smart health, smart agriculture, smart energy, and smart transport. And what is artificial intelligence? We know that artificial intelligence is a science of making machines or programs that think like people, think rationally, act like people, or act rationally. And today I will talk about how to apply machine learning and deep learning for intelligent systems. What is an intelligent system? Intelligent system is not just about the pattern recognition. It is something most of these work are based on. It is about the modeling the world and it's explain and understand what we see. You might think we could see but haven't yet. And problem solving and plan, I think, to make these things green. Build new model as we learn more about the world. And if you focus on agent and environment, we see that we have the agent and environment here, and we have the sensor, percept, action, and actuator. What is here? What is the agent? Agent is means that is an entity that perceives its environment through sensor and take action through actuator. And the agent behavior is described by the agent function of policy that map perceive the history to action. We have the app function here, and the agent program run on faster architecture to produce the app function. What is the rational agent? We can know that original eigen is an eigen that does the right thing. It means that a performance needs to evaluate a sequence of environment state caused by eigen behavior, and a rational eigen is eigen that choose whichever action that maximize the expected value of the performance needs to give the percept sequence to the that is definition about the rational eigen. And rationality is very different with the midnight sun. Rationality is very different with the clairvoyant, and rational is very different with the successful. However, rationality leads to exploration, learning, and autonomy. And what are performance, environment, actuator, and sensor? And the characteristic of the performance needs to environment, action set, and percept effect technique, technique for selecting rational action. And these characteristics are summarized as a task environment. For example, we have an autonomous car, and here your performance needs to the safety, destination, legality, comfort, and environment here is seat, highway, chickpea, yes, and actuator here steering, accelerator, brake, horn, speaker, and display. And sensor here is video, yes, engine sensor, GPS. In the example 2, an intelligent shopping icon. Here, performance measure is price, quality, appropriate efficiency, and environment, actuator, and sensor, that. Yes. And what is the icon program? Icon program is mean that the job of AI is design an icon program that implement the icon function. This program will run on an architecture that is a composting device. Sorry, can you see? Okay. With your Pascal sensor and actuator, and even equal program and architecture. And we can implementation even program by in a many way, for example, with table, with rule, with search algorithm, or with learning algorithm. And here is a five model of the first is symbol reflect agent. Symbol reflect agent it means that this agent will select action on the basis of current percept, ignoring the rest of the percept history. And the second is the model by reflect agent. This agent hand the partial observability of the environment by keeping check of the part of the room they cannot see now. And the third model is the goal by eigen. This eigen choose an action that will achieve the goal. And the fourth is a utility-based eigen. This eigen choose an action that maximize the expected utility of its outcome. And the last is a learning eigen. This eigen is a capacity of self-improvement, and they can become more competent than their initial knowledge alone might allow. And well, intelligent systems are complex and use a wide range of technology, for example, artificial intelligence, cyber security, natural language processing, deep learning, embedded CPU, distributed storage, wireless networking, graphical signaling. And today I will focus on three fields. The first is the natural language processing. The second is the image processing. And the last is the voice recognition and how to apply machine learning and deep learning to build intelligent system in three fields here. That social network is very famous and at least we have one social network. Natural language processing, there are many classes in natural language processing. In the left column, in the first column, you see that is a linguistic, for example, tokenize, stem, lemmatization, part of speech, passing, segmentation, morphological. And a second column is some tasks of natural language processing. For example, information retrieval and extraction. And we know that Google search is very famous. Named entity recognition, sentiment analysis, withstand and disambiguation, text similarity, coherent resolution, and dispatch analysis. And in the third column, here is the advanced of natural language processing. For example, machine translation, automatic summarization, natural language generation, reasoning over knowledge base, a question answering system, dialogue system, and email captioning and other multimodal tasks. The own tasks of natural language processing. And the second is related to computer vision. What is computer vision? The first we know that we see there are a lot of applications use face detection, face recognition, handwriting recognition, hand recognition. Yes, it's a object detection, action detection. Yeah, the own task of computer vision. Yeah. And how about the voice pre voice processing? We had some famous voice assistant here. Apple with the Siri in 2011. Google now, Microsoft Cortana, Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant. And by the Fortuna Business Insight, they forecast that in 2026, the speech and voice recognition market get $28.3 billion. This means that speech and voice recognition is very attractive. And we focus on the research. We have the Science and Spring. In the Science Direct, when I checked with the keyword intelligence system in the 2019, there are a lot of research related to the intelligence system. With the keyword natural language processing, there are more 15,000 results. And how about the email processing? We had 22,000 results. Yes. How about the voice recognition? Here result for the voice recognition in last year. And we check in the Spring Learning. We see with the keyword intelligence system with a lot of research related to intelligence system. And it's the same with the keyword natural language processing. Email processing with a lot of result here. And voice recognition is the same. Okay, and how about conference? There are a lot of conference related to computer science, machine learning, natural language processing, artificial intelligence, and security. You can see that here is a popular category from the Wiki Code for paper. Okay, now we know what is the intelligence system, how research related to intelligence system. Now I will focus on machine learning. Artificial intelligence was born in 1950, and in the artificial intelligence, machine learning is the main approach to solve the problem of artificial intelligence. Machine learning is very famous. It was born in 1980, and deep learning is the main approach of machine learning. It was born in 2010. What is the machine learning? Here is the history of machine learning. Yes, from the learn.com. And apply of machine learning, there are a lot of application apply machine learning technique. For example, Amazon, Gmail, Facebook. Yes, self-driving car. Yeah. What is machine learning? This definition by the Tom Mitchell, he defined that machine learning is means that a computer program is set to learn from experiment E with respect to some class of task T and performance measure P. It is performance of task in T as measured by P input with the exponent E. This is the definition from the Tommy 12. For example, with the flying checker, we had T is the task of flying checker. E means that the experiment of flying many game of checker, and P means that the probability that the program will win the next game. And another example here is recognizing cat, and T is the task of identifying the cat in the picture. E means that the experiment of looking at a lot of cat picture, and P means that the ability that the program will detect a cat in the picture. And there are three groups in machine learning can divide to three groups. The first is supervised learning, the second is the unsupervised learning, and the other is the reinforcement learning. However, we had another group combined supervised learning and unsupervised learning. We call it semi-supervised learning. How does the machine learning work? Yes, we have the data and we find the pattern and use the machine learning technique to predict or get the decision. Next, I will tell about the one famous machine learning algorithm support vector machine at VM. Yes, but in this application, we use SVM to classify the document and how to classify document. And first, I will introduce a little about some pre-processing. For example, first the dependency parsing. We have the raw sentence here, and here's the post-text sentence, and we get the work dependency pass sentence here. And here is the dependency T. And if you apply the rule, we can get the parsing T like that. And we got we get the semantic analysis here. And in the document classification, we use the backup work and one-hop vector. What is the backup work and one-hop vector? For example, we have the re-sentence here, and from the re-sentence, we have the backup work or dictionary, and here is the code for each work. And from that, we can generate one-hop vector for this sentence. For example, this work in the position 6. Yeah, 6. Okay. And another is the n-gram. N-gram is this is a connected string of n. Here we have the unigram, bigram, and trigram. In this application, we use the TF-IDF picture. What is the TF-IDF? TF-IDF means that stand for term frequency, inverse document frequency. And here is the TF and IDF. And we can get the picture TF-IDF by this formula. And here is the process from the corpus to tokenize, building vocabulary, transforming to the vector, and get the TF-IDF picture. And next we will apply machine learning for classifying class. Here we have here is a sentiment analysis with only two class, negative and positive. And we use the machine learning is a support vector machine. This machine learning algorithm is very high dimensionality, memory efficiency, and versatility. How the SVM work? SVM work, we will find the maximum margin here to classify to class here, and if we had more class in SVM, we can divide one to other, and from the result, what is the best result, we will classify these two z class. And at the end means that we will find the hyperlength by the zip equation. It means that we find the margin here, and to show this equation, it means that we had to find the W and B parameter, and we can show this by using CBXOPT. Here is a step by step how to solve this problem by uh, using CBXOPT. BUT, yes, grid P, BUG, BUH, BUA, BUB, phi lambda, and phi W and B. After we find the W and B, we can classify the class by the sign here. It's positive, it's a positive or negative, yes. And here is the top 10 algorithm every machine learning engineer should know. First is naive bias. The second is k-mean. The third is the support vector machine. The fourth in a priori, next is linear regression. Six is the logistic regression. In the top 7 is the decision tree, and after that is a random forest. Next is a Cannialis level, and last is artificial neural network algorithm. Yes, as a present about the machine learning, and next we will talk about the deep learning. What is deep learning? We know that deep learning is the main approach in the machine learning, and it was born in 2020, 2010. Yes, let me check it. It's okay. No problem. Okay. What is deep learning? We know about the biological neuron. Here, the biological neuron, and artificial neural network is mean that we build based on biological neuron. In the picture A, you see that the human neuron, and picture B is the artificial neuron. In the picture C is the biological synapse, and in the last picture is the ANN synapse. Uh, what is the artificial neural network? We know that network chaining is a process of changing the connection weight and threshold of neuron based on learning pattern to satisfy certain conditions. And here we zoom in the one cell body. We have the synapse here is the input, uh, and we have here is the activation function. Yes, and in the symbol deep learning is a multiplier perception neural. And in the artificial neural network, backpropagation is a important process. This process to update the weight. For example, here we can update the weight by this formula. And if you look in the cell body, you see that here is the backpropagation. This process will change update the weight to satisfy the condition. Yes. For example, here we have two input, and from two input, we can calculate this one, and after that we can calculate this. However, we hope to get the picture in this range, so that we have the arrow here, and from that we can get a gradient, and come back to update the weight in the last step. It's the backpropagation forward and backward. And this step will stop when backpropagation will stop. If we do the enough number of effort or reach the desired the value, or we get the divergent target function, we can stop this process. How about you see that here is activation function. What is activation function? Here is the four famous activation function: the time, value, sigma, and linear. If we don't use the activation function, it means that we only solve the linear problem, and if we use the activation function, this means we solve the non-linear problem. Yes. And here is the artificial neural network, and here is the deep learning. Yes. And now you know about the basic of neural network. Now we're going to focus on deep learning. What is deep learning? What is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? Uh, from this picture, you can see that in the machine learning, we can extract picture and classification is in two steps. However, in deep learning, we can do in the same step here. And deep learning, we need a big data set. However, in machine learning, it perform well with small to a medium data set. And deep learning need require the machine with a strong computer, and maybe in the training time is very long, maybe in a few hours, a week or month. Yes, and the number of algorithms in the deep learning is a few. However, in machine learning, there are many. And in the data interpretation in the deep learning is very difficult. However, in machine learning, some machine learning algorithms are easy to interpret. However, some other hardly possible. In last year, three scientists here, Hinton, Lepun, and Benzo, they got Turing Award. We don't have the Nobel for the computer science, but we had Turing Award. It's same with the Nobel Award for the computer science. And the scientists here public deep learning method from long time ago, but they public in the most famous journal in the Nature in 2015. When I checked this application, I got nearly 28,000 citations. Yeah. And it's the same with the machine learning. Deep learning can divide to the four approach. The first is supervised deep learning. The second, deep supervised. The second is deep unsupervised. The third is deep reinforcement learning. And the last is deep semi-supervised learning. It's a combine from the deep unsupervised and deep supervised learning. Now here is the symbol deep learning approach, autoencoder and denoising autoencoder. And what is the recurrent neural network is the supervised learning method. Uh, Recurrent neural network it means that we can in this model has one gate, only one gate. From this one gate we can forget or remember the picture or the result of the last step for the next step. However, in the long process, it's more difficult to process. How to do that? We can use a long short-term memory. This can improve from the RNN. It's proposed by Hockenheimer and Schneeberger in 1997. And the improve of the long short-term memory here is use the forget for 1, 2, 3, 4. And from forget here, we can forget or remember the picture or the last step, the picture or the result of last step for the next step in the long process. For example, it focuses on this rate FG. You see that this rate combined from the previous layer input with the state in last la, and bias. Yes, we have this rate. Yes. And another in the bidirectional LSTM is proposed by Wang at 2015. This means that this model is to LSTM. The first is forward and the other is backward. And combine forward and backward, we can make the bidirectional LSTM. And the next is a convolution neural network. This model proposed by Fukushima in 1980 and improved by Lee Kuhn, Boto, Benzo, and Hafner in 1998. As this model has three important layer: convolution layer, Kuning layer, and fully connected layer. Here is a convolution layer. It means that we use the kernel to make the convolution for the picture in the next. And this means that it is a very important layer. It will reduce the original image. For example, here we have the image here, and it means that we have the matching, and we can reduce the original image to the smaller image, but keep the most important picture of original image. For example, we have the picture with the 99 here, and we have the kernel 33. We can reduce the picture to 77 here. And next is the Punling. Punling. There are many kind of Punling here. The Mark Punling. Punling means that we use the kernel. Here we use the kernel with the 2. And the kernel, the Punling will find the maximum number in the slide window, and here is the maximum. From in the Punling layer, we can reduce the picture to the from the 77 to the 44, and this picture keep the most important picture of original picture. And the next is ReLU. We had many kind of activation function. Here the ReLU. ReLU means that we will change the negative to 0. Yes. So that in the ReLU step, ReLU layer, we don't change the size of the picture. We only change the negative number to 0. And the last layer is the fully connected. It means that we will plot the picture to the one column here, and from that we can use plot the result in the last step for the predict this picture is x or zero with the high probability. This is a convolution neural network. Yeah, here's the full step of convolution neural network. We can use the convolution ReLU and Punling layer in many times, depend on your task. But it and by the ILSVRC, they organize the famous contest for the image processing. And here is the own model get the best result in this contest. For example, in 2010, yes. Here is the model in GoogleNet and this contest stop in 2015. We had a LeanNet, AlecNet, VGG, Google LeanNet, and ResNet. And here we focus on how about the evolution of convolution network. Here is the evolution of convolution network from the basic model profile Likun, and we have LANet, AlexNet, and now here a lot of model built based on convolution neural network CNN. It resume, we describe more about the AlexNet in 2012. Here the architecture of AlexNet. And next year VDDNet in 2014. InteratNet in 2015. DenseNet in 2016. And next is the combination model, combine the CNN, combine the superior picture of CNN and LSTM. We call it CNN LSTM. And I just present about supervised learning, deep supervised learning, and next we will focus on what is the deep reinforcement learning. Deep reinforcement learning built based on reinforcement learning. Here is the reinforcement learning model. We have event, environment, action, reward, and state. And here is the deep reinforcement learning. It means that we use the neural network to build the deep reinforcement in this step. Here is the reinforcement learning. And now you know what is the difference between the reinforcement learning and deep reinforcement learning. Okay, and in the deep learning, many researchers use the attention mechanic. This model proposed by Badanu et al. In 2014. This means that we can use if we use the full result, it's a more difficult for the next step. However, if we only attend on some important result, we can get the better. We can reduce the time and get the better result. It's the idea of attention mechanics. And the famous model was born in 2017. The transformer model is proposed by Vaswani et al. In 2017. And how about the deep unsupervised learning? We have some model here. For example, variational autoencoder VIE. This proposed by, for example, here is from proposed by Bowman et al. 2015, or graph convolution neural network, or generative adversarial network, and proposed by Ruffalo et al. In 2014. This is a very famous model in the deep unsupervised learning. Yes. And now we know about what is machine learning, what is deep learning, and how many models in the machine learning as well as in deep learning. And next step, I will show some experiment from our research focused on the field, natural language processing, image processing, and speech processing. Here is our paper. The first is integrating diacritic restoration and question classification into Vietnamese question answering system. It's in special issue on advanced in engineering and computer science journal in last year. And next is about the image processing. I will present about the patient expression recognition with CNN LSTM to get the best paper what in the RAI 2020 conference. And the last year voice recognition, I will present about the Vietnamese voice recognition using deep learning approach. This undergraduate thesis and get the best student thesis in this semester. The first is integrating diacritic restoration and question classification into Vietnamese question answering system. here is your propel model. The first is diacritic restoration. You know that Vietnamese language is different with other language. We use diacritic, uh, and however, some Vietnamese people when try the message, they forget about the diacritic, and so that if we restore a diacritic, we can get the text more beautiful for the next step. Yes, and in the first step is a diacritic restoration. We use the encoder and decoder model to solve this problem. And in the question classification, we use the work embedding technique with the bidirectional and LSTM model. And we integrate diacritic and question classification to be used the Vietnamese question answering system. And here is the demo of this paper. You can check in the link demo here. Okay, and the second, sorry, yes, we build the small chatbot using the question classification. Yes, and in the natural language processing, we publish many research. Here is some research in from 2018 to 2021. Yes. Uh, and on paper here is the deep learning approach. And for the machine learning approach, I just saw uh, case study in the last slide. Yes. And in the experiment here, I only focus on using deep learning to solve some problem of natural language processing as well as image processing or speech processing. Yeah. And in image processing, we here is our research Python expression recognition with CNN LSTM. Uh, in this, we propose solution here is we combining a supervised picture of CNN and LSTM model. CNN to extract picture and recognize facial expression by LSTM. We conduct experiment on GAFFE database. And here is our model, hybrid deep learning CNN LSTM approach for facial emotion recognition. And here is some technical review. And the result we get here with the combination, the hybrid deep learning model is get better. Is we only you only CNN model, and with the condition matrix score, you can get the result here. And in the object, another computer vision is object detection of parking lot occupancy detection, verification emotion recognition, violent video recognition, action recognition. And in this field, we have some publication here. You can see facial expression, facial recognition, facial expression, student attention system Asian face recognition, parking lot occupancy detection Asian deep learning approach, facial expression monitoring system to recognition student engagement in the classroom. Yes. And the next experiment I will present about the voice recognition is from the undergraduate thesis at Suzamot University with the title Vietnamese voice recognition using deep learning approach. Uh, Here is our proposed model with the raw data. We will pre-process extract picture, labeled and training with the CNN model. And we build the application. After I check picture, we will use the saved model to predict the result. The picture we use here is log mail spectrogram. Here is how to process the how to get this picture, and we apply this picture in the CNN model. CNN model, yeah. How to apply CNN model in the void decommission, and we apply in the Zalo AI context data set. We however, because we only for the research, so that we apply in the small data set that the accuracy in the sector we apply for the Vietnamese data set, Vietnamese void data set, and the accuracy here is where's the bad result. However, in the region in Vietnam, we have three regions: the center, the north, and the south. And the voice of the center, the north, and the south very different. So that because we change in the small data set, so that the result we get here is not high. And we have the link demo here. You can check it in the YouTube. Okay. Okay, start with that. It means that hello. And the result here is a male from the north of Vietnam. And next is I just present with you about the intelligence system and focus on only three topics: natural language processing, image processing, and speech processing, and how to apply machine learning and deep learning to solve the problem of the three idea here. And that's in my presentation. Live every day the change becomes the most beautiful day of your life. It's from Mark Twain. It's uh, last my slide with you. Here is some reference in my presentation. Survey of uses of deep learning for natural language processing, deep learning for computer vision, deep learning for intelligent wireless network, and void recognition and void comparison using machine learning technique. Intelligent system design, integrating expert system, hypermedia, and database technology. Thank you for your attention today, and I'm very happy to hear the question from you. Do you have any question? If you have any question, please send the message to me or ask me directly.
Hello.
Okay, okay, now I hear you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hang, for your nice presentation. So Today there are some question about some different type of countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, or your country Vietnam. This type of country. There are some questions. So first question is how we can start to learn machine learning as a beginner. So how a beginner
Uh,
can start learning. So please can you explain step by step?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay,
Uh,
thank you.
the third question, how to learn machine learning from the basic. I think just you first you had to knowledge about the math. Math is very important to the machine learning, and like you should uh, how can I say, you should understand about the machine learning. What is the machine learning, and how to apply machine learning in some simple application, for example, image processing, image recognition, or document classification. I think you should practice in first you had to have the knowledge about the math. The second, you had the knowledge about the machine learning, and you had to know about the machine learning technique. For example, some famous algorithm here is and famous algorithm. Yes, you should
So
practice with your 10 famous machine learning algorithm with the RIN application. Yes.
there are what type of mathematics need and what type of software to do need to know about machine learning research or about the study or this type of. So
Okay.
can you tell what type of mathematics and
Okay.
what type of
Let me
software
let me
name?
let me. In I will show you here. It's a famous company, technology company. They here is some. You can see that here. Is from the Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, or Google. And what is the famous? Yeah. Here in this date with the Google AI Land Graph. And in this year, the TensorFlow framework is the first class, and the second is Cafe. And in the publication in this year, TensorFlow, the second is Kera. Yeah. Here is some famous framework for the deep learning we should practice.
What type of mathematics need for this type of calculation, algebra, this type of general mathematics need for the machine learning technique?
Yes. And the famous course in the machine learning is under you can uh, you can see the here is a machine learning course by the Andre yeah, from the Stanford. Another course from the Stanford, they public to everyone. You can attend it. For example, here is natural organic processing with deep learning, convolutional neural network for visual recognition, mining machine data set. It's the own course from Stanford University. Yes, and you have to know how to program. Programming is very important, and I suggest you should use the Python. Yes, that's my question.
If
That's my
a
answer.
Okay, if a student asks me, he is learning the Python software. So it is
Mhm.
any relation between the machine learning and the Python software. So he can solution or anything do by the Python
Okay.
with the machine learning.
Okay. You can search this code here. MIT, MIT. This code means that MIT 6. How can I say it? I should get you the code here. some records. It was MIT 001. Yeah, for the Python programming. In MIT 6.0.0.1, they public they has a lecture, video, and code for each lecture, lecture video. You can reference on this. Okay, this is my answer.
So they can there are some different type of university, they are providing online
Yes,
learning for the machine learning. So the Coursera or some MIT, can you suggest some name about the
yes,
online?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just for some basic stuff with me. I get you some thoughts here. Here, it's about Vietnamese, but here is
Oh, so
that's
there
it.
are some English
No, no,
website they can learn.
yes. I only saw the title. For example, machine learning by Andrew. Let me, yes, the first part. As the second part, the natural language is learning from the Stanford.
Okay,
Stanford.
so natural language, Stanford University.
Yes,
CS224N. This is the course
yes,
number. Stanford University, USA.
yeah.
Okay. So they can learn
Only
from this
from
online
the Stanford University.
neural network and virtually organized. Stanford
Yes.
University, CS23.
Here is some thought you can learn. Okay.
Okay, thank you for your kind information. So any student can learn to machine learning from online, they can saw the machine learning into NG, and also some courses from the Stanford University they provide. Is the course number is the CS224N and also CS231. This two type of courses. One name is the natural language processing with deep learning, and another name is the convolutional natural network for the virtual reorganization. So if anybody search in the Google, they can learn from this type of courses from the online, and any beginner also can start from this type of online course. So
Yes.
there is another question. So if anybody complete his bachelor or master's degree, so if anybody go to the job some company, so what type of position for this type of machine learning, also the deep learning, also artificial intelligence, what type of position is available for the student, fresh student or some experienced student?
I think there are a lot of scholarships for you if you are research in the machine learning and deep learning field. I think there are a lot of a thousand of scholarship for you in the master and doctor. Please find it on the internet.
So
Because
some
you know that machine learning and deep learning is the main approach to solve the problem of the artificial intelligence. Yes, and that's why today we are in the smart century, in the form. We need the artificial intelligence. That's why machine learning and deep learning very useful to solve the problem of artificial intelligence. That's why there are many universities supply the scholarship for this topic. Please check
so
on
okay.
internet.
What is the main research area nowadays for if a student go to after his bachelor, if a student enter to the higher study, masters or doctoral level? So, what is the important research area in this day? In this nowadays, what is the important research area for the machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence? So, what topics they can select, they can opportunity to go to abroad for the higher study. Can you give your opinion?
Okay, okay,
Some
okay.
topics.
I just talked about only three topics. Here we had a lot here.
Yes, artificial
Cybersecurity,
cyber
natural
security.
language processing, deep
Okay.
learning, yes, wireless networking, or graphical processing. But in this presentation, I only talk about the natural language processing, image processing, and voice recognition. However, we can apply in other field here.
Okay. So another question is, can you explain the in ensemble learning for technique in machine learning? Assemble learning. Can you explain assemble learning
Sorry,
technique for the machine learning? SM,
machine learning.
yes, machine learning. Can you explain the ensemble learning technique for the
Sorry,
machine learning?
can you
Uh,
repeat the question?
so I can tell you the. Can you tell what type of technique follow? They can machine learning and what type of relation with the artificial intelligence or some others type of you told about the robotics also related with the machine learning or so some Facebook or some social media also related some Amazon also related with the machine learning. So what type of technique they can follow to research about this area? What type of technique you told
Okay,
you maybe
okay.
show? Yes,
Okay, for example, in Amazon or Google search, eh,
yes, yes,
you know that today Google search, yes, Google search, Google,
yes. Google.
Google translation,
Yes.
yes,
Uh,
Amazon, yes, there are a lot of big technical technology company. They use the machine learning and deep learning approach
yes.
to solve the many problems. Yes, here is some and Facebook we use here is Facebook is the same. I think if we focus on here, you see that here in network networking, there are a lot of application here. Machine translation, question answering system, dialogue system, yeah. Information retrieval is for natural language processing, and for email we had a lot.
Oh, okay. Face detection, face recognition.
Yes,
So there are many type of area to
yes, yes, yes,
about related with the machine learning of AI deep learning.
yes.
Okay.
And
So
next question,
So you last time you showed a chatbot. So can you describe about the chatbot? So when you write something, then the chatbot give you answer, explain answer. So you show a
okay,
chatbot.
okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Can you explain about it? It's maybe it is very interesting.
Yes. And the last slide, I show you more detail about the AdVM. It's a very, very detailed how AdVM works step by step. You can see that here. Yes. And about your question related to chatbot. Okay, come back to chatbot. In the chatbot, we build the simple chatbot based on question classification. It means that we have a lot of question here with the answer, and from the question we will classify the question and we choose the best answer for this question. It's a symbol Vietnamese question answering system. It it want to build the chatbot for own domain is more difficult. I think so.
Okay. So can you use this type of chatbot in some robotics device, some robotics toys to
Yes, yes, true. It's true. Because in robotics you have to use natural language processing, image
process?
processing, and sensor. Yes, maybe some speech processing. Yes, that's all. We You have to use natural language processing, image processing to get a picture from camera, and voice processing. Yes, in robotics.
Okay. Thank you for your explanation. So maybe this is now there is no question. So thank you again to attend this international webinar and your very nice presentation. And thank you all to join and watching this type of presentation. So maybe in future we'll do more this type of specialized webinar. So thank you all again. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation, and have a good night, everyone. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
okay. I'm Sachin.